X Factors are coming back in NHL 24. In the Hockey Ultimate Deep Dive that I made, I tried to throw as much information in there in the background so that we could have a lot to talk about going into the launch of NHL 24. So, let's discuss everything X Factors in this video. Couple of facts right off the rip. 1. There is only 38 this year in NHL 24. That is it. There is no more. There are 32 NHL X Factors, as well as 6 female international cards. Now, the biggest change in X Factors this year is that every single franchise will have an X Factor representative. In prior games, there were many teams with multiple, like the Edmonton Oilers, Toronto Maple Leafs, Colorado Avalanche, which left many of the franchises just to not have one. And while I can understand that quite a few franchises don't really have that true X Factor player, when it comes to the actual game, it was kind of rough for anyone that follows a franchise that's going through it. So, as a Sharks fan, being able to use Tomas Hertl with that awesome card art, I can use him on pretty much any Sharks team build, and I can have him throughout the whole year. Again, obviously, there's 2 arguments to this. One would be, that means players like Leon Draisaitl and Austin Matthews are not X Factors in NHL 24, but I'll get into that in just a little bit. Let's take a look at all of the confirmed X Factors in NHL 24. So early on in the video, I show off the X Factor moments list. As you'll notice, there are only 38 total moments, 1 for every corresponding X Factor player. In the list, it highlights a moment for each X Factor card, so let's go take a look at the list. Starting off at the top with NHL 23's cover boy, the Anaheim Ducks' Trevor Zegras, followed by Arizona's Clayton Keller, the Boston Bruins' Charlie McAvoy, the Buffalo Sabres' Rasmus Dahlin. Could have been Tage. The Calgary Flames go with Rasmus Anderson. Carolina gets Sebastian Aho. Chicago fans are going to have to wait at least one more season for Connor Bedard and his X Factor, because Seth Jones will get it once more. Pretty obvious pick in NHL 24's cover athlete, Cale Makar for the Avalanche. Johnny Gaudreau for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Jason Robertson for the Dallas Stars. Here's hoping that he doesn't have 80 skating. The Detroit Red Wings will get Dylan Larkin. Connor McDavid for the Edmonton Oilers. So again, no Leon Draisaitl. Then we get Matthew Tkachuk, and we get a full look at his abilities and attributes, and this card is actually half decent. You'll also notice the change in synergies. Again, if you haven't watched the deep dive, synergies will act a little bit differently in 24, where instead of workhorse or other synergies, players will receive their actual build synergies. So Matthew Tkachuk is a power forward. He gets the power forward synergy. On top of that, you'll see that there are actually boosts as well. Matthew Tkachuk, confirmed, has the acceleration boost, and then at tier 13, which I believe is 95 overall, will get a speed boost. On top of that, they finally gave him a good X Factor ability with close quarters, and then he's got the fun stuff with Total Eclipse and Big Tipper. Because of his size and the fact that he's actually got decent skating for launch of the game, this could be pretty fun. Then we've got Nick Suzuki, and a nice glimpse at what his card art will look like. Roman Josi from the Nashville Predators, Jack Hughes from the Devils, Ilya Sorokin from the New York Islanders, and again, one of the things I'm more excited about with moments is actually completing goaltender moments. Artemi Panarin from the New York Rangers, Stützle gets one from the Senators, Konechny from the Flyers, Sidney Crosby remains the Pittsburgh Penguins rep, my man Tomas Hertl in that electric card art will be the San Jose Sharks representative, and then Vince Dunn for the Seattle Kraken. Now there was also something confirmed by Nicholas. We've got Mitch Marner is the Toronto Maple Leafs representative, as well as Braden Point for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Capitals one is pretty easy. That one's still Obi. For Winnipeg, it's going to be Josh Morrissey, Stanley Cup champion Jack Eichel, Jordan Kyrou for the St. Louis Blues, and newfound captain Quinn Hughes for the Vancouver Canucks. On top of the 32 NHL X Factors, there will also be 6 women X Factors as well. The only one confirmed is Hillary Knight. Some other facts about X Factors is it does look like we are going back to a 1 of 5 choice pack, which is obviously huge if you were trying to get the card that you want. And lastly, there were some questions about the X Factor collectible that was shown in the moments screen. I can confirm that by completing all of the moments, you can use those collectibles to get yourself a free X Factor choice pack, which, spoiler alert, probably where you want to start in NHL 24. Lastly, my thoughts on X Factors this year. Again, like I mentioned, the fact that they are going to the 1 of 32 option as opposed to just the best players in general. I think this does help out the players that have fandom of franchises that are brutal. But more importantly, let's not forget that X Factors, since their launch, do not have this exceptional value that a lot of people think they do. For the hardcore players, we use X Factors for really one purpose, and that's to trade them in at a later date for a Team of the Season or Team of the Year cards. So with this change, I hope this helps make X Factors more of what they should be, which is the availability to represent your favorite players. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Make sure you subscribe for the most up-to-date news, tips, and info for NHL 24. I'll see you next time.